so much for being here. Before we go into the story, I would like us to do a small breathing exercise. So you can find a comfortable position. You can lean on your chair, or you can also just straighten your spine, legs together. If you want to cross, close your eyes, place your hands on your thighs, lengthen the spine, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Opening the collarbone. Give a scan, head to toes, softening each and every part, relaxing the mouth, the cheeks, your eyes, eyebrow center. Bring awareness to your nostrils. And let's deepen the breath. Take a deep breath in, expanding. And deep breath out, relax. Again, deep breath in. And deep breath out. Feeling that expansion. Continue. Breathing the ribs, side ribs, front ribs, getting more space between the ribs, those tiny muscles, the intercostals. Good. And we're going to do a technique that's called alternating nostril breathing. You can just follow my voice or you can watch. So I'm going to use the right hand. You can use the one you prefer. I fold index and middle finger. And then the thumb is pressing my right nostril, like that space between the hard part of the nose and the soft part, just locking it. And then the ring finger, the other one. So I take a deep breath in through both nostrils. We can do it together. And then I exhale to the left nostril. Deep breath in through the left. Exhale to the right. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the left. Exhale, long exhale to the right. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. One more. Deep breath, really expand. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale to the left. And release. Place your hand down. Allow the breath just to flow naturally in and out. Observe, whatever it may be. Feel your body, feel your breath. Maybe some changes, whatever they may be. Slowly we rub our hands together until they get hot. And we're gonna cover the eyes, just a little probe, no need to press, just feel the hands, the warmth. Breathe. We move the hands a little bit away from your eyes and take a few blinks, gently opening your eyes. hands together. Welcome to my sanctuary. The story begins here. I was born into a small industrial town in Romania, a place with many gray communist buildings and a beautiful medieval castle. Growing up, I was this perfect stereotype of the cute little girl who didn't cause any troubles and had good grades in school. I was shy, introvert, not sporty, though I was always fascinated by gracious sports such as gymnastics. No matter how much my mom tried to make me sit elegantly like a girl, she could never succeed. Cross-legged, not so easy in the shoes though. And child's pose were my favorite positions for doing homework. I thought I was boring and had nothing creative or interesting to bring to the world. Books and my love for knowledge were my best friends. On the outside, I was this person. On the inside, I dreamed about adventures and exploring the world out there. After high school, I moved to Timișoara, to the western part of Romania. First time on my own, free as a bird. Always hungry. Little money, but tons of enthusiasm. Even met a boy and fell in love. The perfect university life expectations. Diploma in my hand, the world came knocking. Next logical step was an internship. I was open to go anywhere in the world. I wanted to develop and have my senses overwhelmed. And so, I found myself in that train station saying goodbye to that sweet boy with long eyelashes that would make any girl jealous. Yes, myself included. Adventure begins. The world at my feet. A few days later, I was flying to Tunisia. A 22-year-old young woman, first time abroad, only me and my suitcase, out there into the big unknown. It has begun. Tunis smelled like endless jasmine nights with heartwarming conversations, hot days under the sirocco, tabuna cooked in the sand, and harissa, of course. Millefeuille et café au lait on avenue Habib Bourguiba. Crêpes salées with tuna, fruits de mer. Souk walks in the labyrinthian Medina. The sound of the muezzin calling for prayer from the towering minaret facing my office. And the sweetest baklava I have ever had in my entire life. I still remember that first day. The sound of the children playing outside. Palm trees everywhere. That shisha smell from a French colonial building with an only man cafe. I entered the trainees' flat. On the walls, there were flags from all over the world. It was fascinating and I loved being part of that. Couldn't wait to put my own flag on that wall. I was outside my comfort zone every single day and loving it. Loving even the moments that I hated. I embraced the likes, the dislikes, and all the shades in between. For the first time, I saw a side of me that I have never met before. A side that was looking at the world with fresh new eyes beyond what was conditioned by my own culture. Everything was different. Everyday life became a teacher and a playground. One year went fast. Didn't get the time to get adjusted. Now that I had a glimpse of the vastness out there, didn't want the story to end. One day I got a call. They liked my resume and they invited me for an interview. And so I count my money. I had exactly the amount for a one-way ticket to Poland and the remaining of 50 euros. So what do you think that I did? Well, I did exactly what only a 22-year-old would presume wise. Go for the job interview like you already got the job. My friend Diana looked at me and said, I can't decide if you are fearless or a complete idiot. Packed my bags, went for the interview, got the job. 2 months later, the Arab Spring began. Krakow was beautiful and felt familiar. I was no longer outside my comfort zone. Home was among internationals and switching from 3 languages every day. For the first time, I could do the things I only dreamed about before. Eat out, see places, and experience stuff. It was cozy, and I was happy. I entered the grown-ups world, the corporate world. From being excited and eager to learn, soon all that would change into stress, belly aches, and unfulfillment. For the first time in my life, I tried to make myself feel better by buying pretty things. Going home, hands filled with bags, I was still sad. That was new. I learned that you cannot buy happiness. You can enjoy a pretty object for the sake of it, but it cannot make you happy unless, well, you already are. While in Tunisia, I met this girl who used to do yoga early in the morning while the rest of us were asleep. I asked myself, what is this yoga thing? What is so special about it? Why would she forego sleep for yoga? Wanting to release my stress, I finally decided to give this yoga thing a try. It was not love at first sight, but it would change my grumpy face into a joyful one in just 1 hour. Magic. Things improved. The universe had it that I needed a flatmate. When I first met Claudia, I thought she was weird, and she thought I was weird. I didn't like her, and she didn't like me. At least we agreed on something. That's how I met my best friend. If those walls could speak, they would speak of endless laughter. You know, those real ones. with tears and belly aches. Non-judgment. True friendship beyond personality differences. True connection. Sometimes, most times, brutal honesty while still loving each other. That flat and our friendship became our sanctuary, where we shared, laughed and cried, and grew together. I didn't know back then how special that was, and that this might be once in a lifetime sort of friendship. After 3 years, Krakow chapter was coming to an end. Remember that boy? That sweet boy with long eyelashes? I was going to move in with him to the north part of the world in a cold and humid place called Gothenburg. That last morning, Claudia and I didn't say goodbye. I was at the door watching her leave for work. As she was going down the stairs, she stopped, looked at me, and said, "Don't lose yourself." I had a vague idea what she meant. Though I was immature and selfish, something inside me resonated. What she really meant was not to let the noise out there, the unsolicited opinions, change who you really are and take your smile away. She meant not to live just to please others, but to choose true connection and do the right thing, no matter how hard it is. And so, in 2014, I moved to Gothenburg to live with my boy. To say I was happy, it's an understatement. Finally, after 4 years of long-distance relationship, no more flights, back and forth, no more said goodbyes in the airport. The final one-way ticket. Two weeks later, childhood was over. I fell from my happiness clouds into the deepest grief and depression. My beautiful father, my Jean Valjean, passed away. At 27, I felt like an orphan. I felt alone, and I could no longer experience any joy. Nothing could take that pain away. Seeing my father's lifeless body, not only did it break my heart, but it also reminded me that I am next. I had what you would call an existential crisis. Life is short. Tomorrow is just a promise. There are no reasons not to dare to live your dreams. Before leaving Krakow, my then yoga teacher suggested I should teach. A seed was planted. That seedling was nurtured by my beautiful friend Valérie, ma belle madame, who encouraged me to have an authentic experience and go do a teacher training in the birthplace of yoga. Unsure of myself, I asked her, "Do you really think I could teach?" Without hesitation, she looked at me and said, "Bien sûr que tu peux. Fais-le avec ton cœur. Of course you can. Do it with your heart." She believed in me before I was ready. And so I decided to fly to India, wanting to share what I learned during the teacher training that summer I gave teaching a try. I started doing free classes in Slottsskogen-parken and private sessions for a few bucks. I was tired, but I was happy seeing the amazing benefits the practice had on people. At the end of the summer, my students asked me to keep going. And so we moved to living room yoga in our apartment and started hunting for places to rent in town. My existential crisis and the new responsibility of teaching others made my own practice so much deeper. For the first time, I had a glimpse of practical philosophy. I could see my own mental patterns into a complete new spotlight. This time, it was no longer yoga for entertainment, stress release, or preventing back pain. It was more than just physical movement. I could go deeper into my own mind and observe. It was mind practice, though it looked like circus. Moving your body is always a great idea. But this was something else. This was mind-bending body. This was connection, and it was deep. I was transcending the tools. Well, I was changing. It is something magical when you connect conscious breath with conscious movement. You step into a more quiet place of your mind. Neuroscience now has more updated research about the power of the breath and its connection to the brain. They can actually explain through data what yogis more than 4,000 years ago could only feel through practical experience without having all that knowledge. When you connect breath and movement through specific techniques, you transcend the ordinary thinking mind. You step into a place of quiet where all of a sudden you can find answers you cannot find in overthinking or overanalyzing. You step into your truth. A few years in, we stopped running to search for places to rent in town and finally found our studio. But it was just 2 months before COVID. Imagine my luck. Though COVID affected everybody's life and separated us physically, the practice gave us strength and focus. These were the perfect conditions to practice the deep philosophy of yoga. We did the best we could with the available resources. We shared the Zoom space, of course, and we practiced outside on the grass and on the pavement in front of our studio. Not only did my students didn't want to quit yoga, but our community grew stronger than ever. We even expanded beyond Gothenburg. Now that the studio was open to the whole planet, people from other corners of the world would join. The studio is merely a four-walled space. What matters is when we get together with that sincere wish to work with ourselves. That's how we inspire each other, and the place comes to life. The studio and the practice became my sanctuary, a sanctuary that I would also share with others. You may find inspiration and good guides, but the real work is done by you. Why is the work? To introspect, reflect, meditate, to filter through the noise, to release, let go, unfold, to get really focused, really clear in your mind, to get to the core and to step into your power. Your idea of a sanctuary may be different than mine, but eventually all sanctuaries share a common ground. They are places that transform clouded perception into clarity, meaning, and purpose. Places that allow you to be yourself and to become who you really are. We often get lost in this artificial modern world of ours, distracting ourselves with all sorts of toys. We often feel lost, while in fact, well, we are just distracted. When we get really quiet, we can see and hear better. When we choose connection instead of distraction and dissociation, we embrace our story. We start living it. This is the moment when we transcend the tools and we become art itself. This is the way to us. And to summarize and help you find your sanctuary, these are a few things I would like to leave you with. In the words of Hemingway, courage is grace under pressure. Dare to meet your demons, rise above the noise, and meet your true self. In your sanctuary, that may take different shapes at different moments of your life. You're truly connected. You unleash all that creativity and braveness you already have inside. And you step into your power, your purpose. You become a force of change, not only for your own selfish needs, but maybe you may even make the world a better place. The path is not easy, but it's worth it. Because it's yours. It's your adventure. This is not the end. Whatever inspired you today, multiply that. May the force be with you. Thank you.